Good evening. It's the Ben and Tala Perspective. Welcome. We hope you are doing well this Monday evening. It's the Ben and Tala Perspective. Come on in, and once you do, make sure you hit share. This evening we will be discussing commitment, basically. Being committed. You cannot conquer what you are not committed to. So, committed. So, committed is my topic tonight. So, I just wanted, this is kind of like a personal self-check-in for me personally. We're 49 days into the new year, 2019. So, I just wanted to I just had some questions. Like I said, I'm self-checking myself. Am I committed? Am I doing what I set out to do for 2019? Am I staying the course? So this is kind of like my personal accountability check-in. So, like, what did you say you were going to do for 2019? What did you say you were going to do in 2019?
What did you say you were going to do?
Well, I said a couple things. But the one thing that I have done for 49 days, I have journaled. That's the one thing that I've been committed to, because every year I set out to, and I say I'm going to journal. I buy all these journals. I do it a couple weeks and then I don't do it anymore. So I have committed to my journaling. I have not worked out for 49 days straight. I have not. So our house is just getting over the flu. The kids had the flu. I don't think I had the flu. I think I had an upper respiratory infection. But I was sick the weekend. So feeling better. I have my voice back.
Welcome back, boys.
Welcome back, boys. I can talk again. So welcome. Welcome to the Ben and Tala Perspective. Once you get in here, make sure you hit share. If you're watching it on the after we're done, just share. Leave us a comment. Again, our word.
Say what you're committed to.
Yeah, and tell us what you're committed to. So tonight, the word of the evening is committed, commitment. We're 49 days into the new year. What are you doing? Are you still doing what you said you would do in 2019? And we're just 49 days in. So, like I said, I'm just my personal self-check. I'm checking in on me. You know, like I said, I haven't worked out for 49 days. I have not. But I'm going to. I'm back on. I have an accountability partner. I'm running again. This weight will come off. It will. I'm not playing. But anyway, committed. What are you committed to? I also wanted to go in the direction of like relationships, friendships, marriages. Benet is watching TV back here, so that's why y'all see the TV. But focus on us. Don't focus on Benet and the TV.
Or how about we make you focus on something?
Yeah, I know, right? I'm sorry. So just for me, being committed and commitment also reminded me of relationships.
Okay.
Friendships, our marriage. Like, do you get at a point in a friendship or a relationship? Because a lot of people that we've known, relationships, marriages. Laylay's tripping up here. I'm sorry, she distracted me. So a lot of couples that we know are either separating or they're divorcing. So it had me really thinking about, like, are we at that age where, or have we been together so long that, like, you just tired? Like, because marriage is hard. Every day it's a process. But do you get to the point where you're just like, you know, I need a break?
Once a day.
At least. At least
sometimes
once
twice.
a day. So I'm just, revisiting commitment, being committed, whether it's to your partner, whether it's to your exercise regimen, whether it's to whatever. Just checking in. We're 49 days. Tomorrow will be 50 days into the new year. So are you staying committed? Are you doing what you set out to do for 2019? So it's just a check-in.
Yes.
I without commitment, nothing happens. So if you're not...
Well, so I kind of disagree with that part.
Really?
Yeah, because things happen. They just may not happen like you want them to happen because you're not committed to it. So just like the world still goes on.
Absolutely.
Whether you're committed or not.
Absolutely.
But
I
life
agree.
goes on. So you can sit there and you can give up or you can not take advantage of the opportunities, but life goes on. So, but if you're committed, then you go on with life instead of life just going on.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, I'm not saying like...
I know what you were saying, but like when I read that, I just thought I didn't agree with that part just because, and that was just my opinion on it.
Right.
But like it does go on, and things do get. But I think the source of commitment, because it's easier to give up.
Oh, absolutely.
It's easier to it's almost like if you make all easy decisions, life becomes hard.
Yeah.
But if you're willing to take a chance on those hard decisions, making those hard decisions and going through and being committed to them, life becomes easier.
Yeah, I agree. I just, for me, one of my commitments for 29, I don't call them resolutions, they're commitments, was just self-improvement, and not listening to that little voice, like what is yourself saying to you? So if you turn that down, if you turn that little voice down, I think, because Tala talks Tala out of a lot of stuff. So I'm trying to not really silence her, but just turn her down just a little bit. So.
Yeah, I think it's sometimes if you quiet that inner voice, because that can be your best cheerleader or your worst enemy,
Yes.
as far as your inner voice, that Tawala, or I think that one is called Simone.
Yeah.
She just made me. That Simone just snatched the pen out my finger, out my hand.
So I just think, without commitment, nothing happens. Like I really have to, for me, that just spoke to me. I keep saying that. I agree with what you said. No, it doesn't necessarily pertain to everything, but I think once I commit myself to something, that's just like if I say I'm gonna meet you at 5:00, I will be there at 5:00,
right.
Unless something really happens. I have a big issue with being late. Like my mama was late for everything.
What about you?
I used to be. I'm really trying to. I'm prompt now. I really am prompt. I try to be prompt unless something is really going on.
Okay.
So that's just a little thing for me.
Right.
Being late. So if I commit to something, if I say I'm going to do something, I try to stay with that.
Okay.
I try to stick to it. So commitment.
So it's like staying focused through issues, staying focused through the storm or the fire, but still being committed to whatever you're trying to do.
Yeah, focus. Yeah. Yeah, commitment, focus, committed.
Yeah, it's like there's opportunities to there's so many things that pop up can make you give up. There's so many things that pop up that can give you an excuse not to do it.
Right.
The way you feel, the way you wake up in the morning, things that happen throughout the day.
Right.
The unexpected.
Yeah.
You get so many opportunities to give up and not stay committed.
Right.
But at the end of the day, it just depends on how committed you really are.
Right.
How much you really want it.
Right.
You know, like when the new year comes, and we all do it. I mean, I don't necessarily do resolutions or anything anymore, but at the same time, you know, I do them throughout the year. So there's things that I have to stick with. So when I say, like for 2019, you said it was 49 days that we've been.
We're
49 days deep, and you think about the things that you committed to at the beginning of the year, or maybe something that you committed to last month,
right,
or last week, and are you still sticking with it?
Right.
You know, one of the simple, or not simple, but one of the most probably talked about things is weight.
Yeah.
You know, so for those that are trying to lose weight or trying to get fit or be in a better shape, not necessarily always losing weight, that's probably one of the hardest things to stay committed to.
For some people.
For most people.
Yeah.
Unless you're 20.
I don't think age has anything to do with it. I really don't.
Y'all don't think age has anything to do with weight?
I don't. I mean,
besides what you eat. I think age has a lot to do with it because it's harder to stay committed. Like there's so many things that you're doing in life that causes distraction. It doesn't mean that you can't do it. It's just not so easy to go to the gym. So you have to recommit.
Right.
So then you have to go back in and start getting focused and build up to want to go to the gym.
Right.
And when you got 1,000 other things like kids, work, you know, dog,
right,
you know, getting car service and all kind of other things that preoccupy your time,
right,
then it's harder to. It's what you look at it as far as what's most important.
Right.
And writing it down and staying focused to it.
Yeah, Cedric said focus is very important. Is a very important word when it comes to commitment.
Yes.
So yeah, I agree. I do agree. If you want it bad enough, you're gonna focus on accomplishing whatever it is. So yeah, I still don't agree. Well, what my doctor told me today. Yeah, my doctor told me today because I was like, you know, he was like, well, Twyla, I mean, you are getting old. And I was like, are we saying this out loud? I know. He's like, things change. So are you eating? Are you, you know, doing what you're supposed to do? But yeah, I think, yes, age does play a part in
to me, it plays a part in it for a lot of different reasons, but like one of the reasons is that you tend to gain 2 to 3 pounds a year as you get older.
Yeah, well,
so if you don't create a workout regimen, then in 10 years you put on 20 to 30 pounds. So it's not like you gain 30 pounds in 1 year. You know, it's something that happened over time, and I'm not talking about you.
Yeah,
I'm just saying over time. So you're committed to going in the kitchen, or you're committed to going to restaurants, or you're committed to going in the pantry for snacks. But then, are you committed as strong as you are, you know, in eating all those things that may not be as good for you as you are committed to? And it doesn't mean you got to go to the gym. It just means you can go for a walk, or you can, you know, watch, you know, do your exercise stuff on your own, or go to yoga, you know, or go see, who was it, Leslie, or you know, but at the same time, it's things that we have to focus on, and become strongly committed to. I know, like for me, with my work, it's staying committed to getting better. Because I've been doing it for so long, it's easy for me to get complacent about it.
Absolutely. Well, that's with anything. Yeah, once you've been doing it forever, you tend to get comfortable. You know, it's just like with relationships, marriages, back to back.
All right, well, we're going to go with marriages because you want to talk about that.
I don't.
So
no,
let's talk about me. Yeah, you do.
No, I really don't. I'm just saying, like, we do tend to get comfortable with each other.
Well, I think we get comfortable in marriage because it's not the fight or the chase anymore. You know, it's almost like you got the contract and you get complacent. You get really complacent with that, or you get too comfortable with whether it's bringing the wife flowers, or what does the wife do for the husband? I mean, you can chime in whenever you feel like it. Or just doing little things to make the other person smile, or to make the other person happy.
Right.
Or even knowing, because in time you tend to learn the person even more.
Right.
So you know the do's and don'ts. You know what clicks for that person and what doesn't click for
Right.
that person. And which one do you focus more on? Are you more committed on focusing in on making that person miserable, or are you more focused on making that person happy?
Right.
I guess when we look at marriages or relationships, and even with friends,
Yeah.
there's so many different ways to be committed in life, and I think some of it is a tale of the type of person you are. I always talk about we bring a lot of baggage from the past years, and we bring it into all our relationships that we're in, which can be a good thing if you know the difference between the trash and the
Thank you, sir.
and the different types of baggage, because there's gifts that can come in bags and there's trash that comes in bags.
Absolutely.
So you have to
Absolutely.
start to figure out what's the difference in the type of baggage that you're carrying around.
Absolutely. I agree. That was
And a lot of it you don't need. So
Right.
in relationships, you have to know and be strongly committed to that relationship. And nowadays, or the way I am now is, I'm at a point now where if that relationship doesn't benefit me,
Right.
now I'm not saying that I don't benefit in a relationship, but that relationship has to benefit me. Now, it doesn't mean that that person really has to do something for me all the time. Sometimes I have to be quiet enough to get something from that person, and it benefits me in other ways than material.
Right. Right.
What?
Get committed. I was reading what Tasha said. Yeah, I mean, and commitment. I like. Well, I don't want to say that. Anything toxic, it does need to be removed. So if it's causing you unhealthy stress, then it does need to be removed. So I get it.
So you get committed to removing it.
Right, and that's what she was saying. She's
Okay.
removing everything out of her house. So, I mean, is it hard? Like, does it make you sad? Like, what's the problem? Like, why haven't you done it? So, letting go is hard, too, when it comes to relationships and, just friendships, not just marriage. You say I keep harping on marriage, but I'm really not. I think friendships are really big. I was talking to my sister today, and we got on a conversation of people changing. Like, should you give people second chances? And I just feel, and this may be off topic, and I'm sorry, but oh well.
Okay.
I think people do change.
Yeah.
People should be given second chances. Like, if you are not friends, because I believe in reasons and seasons.
Right.
So
people have to change, not to cut you off, but in that statement, people should change, because we talked about it before, because I'm not the same Benny from 20 years ago.
Absolutely. I'm not the same Twala from a week ago. So you have to, I just believe in second chances and just removing anything that's not healthy. So yeah. I don't know what my point was, but just being committed to whatever it is, removing things out of your house, removing people out of your life. To me, if it's not serving you, then I think it should be removed. So just being committed to doing what you said. Like I said, this is just a self check-in. It's not a reflection on anybody. It's just my self-check. We're almost 50 days in. Tomorrow's 50 days into 2019. So just think, are you sticking to your plan? Because June will be here in a minute, and we're halfway there. I didn't mean to cut you off.
I think if you know who you are,
Yes.
if you really dig deep to try and figure out who you are, I think it becomes easier. It's not easy, but it becomes easier for you to let people go. if you start to really dig and figure out who you are.
Right.
Because anybody that compromises who you are, and I don't. First of all, you got to know who you are.
Right.
That means I'm not who these people think I am.
Right.
I'm who I am. And when you start to love who you are, it becomes easier to get rid of anybody or anything that compromises who you are.
I agree.
Like the old saying, if you know who you are, you know who you ain't. What?
Yeah, that's it. I was. Yeah, if you know who you are, you know who you ain't.
Right.
And I ain't.
But you got to know who you are.
You do.
Because there's a lot of people around here walking around pissed off at people that are
I don't know where you're going. I'm sorry.
doing constructive criticism.
Giving constructive criticism.
Well, doing or giving, whatever they prefer to do. Okay.
How are you doing it? Well, go ahead. Go ahead.
So if you're giving, if people are giving you constructive, and I know that this is how you know if it's constructive criticism towards you.
Right.
You got to know who you are. You got to know who you are, because some people do it maliciously, and then some people do it to help.
Okay.
If you don't know who you are, then when people give you constructive criticism, you get offended. You know?
Yeah.
If you know who you are, then you knew, like when you said something out of the way to someone, or you did something that was wrong. If you know who you are, you know what was wrong about it. You knew what was wrong when you did it.
Right.
That is how you're able to take constructive criticism. And I'm using that a lot, but it sounds like I'm struggling saying it. But that's what I mean by that, because like sometimes when we get into our disagreements and we're trying to I guess have a conversation and a disagreement.
Okay.
Then sometimes we get heated in it because we don't hear the other person, or because of the constructive criticism that's kind of going between. But what?
Go ahead. No.
That's going between us.
Yeah.
Then we get offended, and we don't want to hear.
Are you talking about us, or are you just speaking in general?
No, I was talking about us.
Well, no, I think with us, going back to the relationships and being committed and what's going on, I think sometimes a lot of us, this is my favorite thing, I'm going to say it till I rest in peace. A lot of times, we don't listen to hear. We listen to...
You know who said that to you, right?
Who?
Me. I'll be taking my stuff.
Okay,
go ahead.
Benny, how long have I been saying that? I
For
didn't get
about
that from
15
you.
years.
I didn't get that from you.
Yeah, you did.
I've been saying that you do that forever.
Okay, go ahead and finish.
You
what you're
listen
saying. Like
to
what I'm doing now?
respond. Yeah, like you listen to respond. You don't
Okay.
listen to hear and fully understand. So whatever criticism or whatever ism somebody's giving you, if you listen, I think that's a part of society's problem is we stop listening to each other.
Not committed to listening.
We're not committed to listening to or hearing each other. Like hey, how you doing? And we gone before they say, I'm not doing good.
Or
you know?
Maybe we don't want to hear.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
No, maybe we don't want to hear that they're not doing good.
If you do or if you don't, well, don't ask. Don't ask.
Oh, you're saying if in that
yeah,
sense,
like
yeah.
if you don't care, don't ask.
Right.
So I just think we've gotten away. We're not committed to hearing.
Well, I think at the beginning, like I said, you have to be committed to yourself. Once you, and I don't mean that selfishly. Mm-hmm. I mean, be committed to knowing who you are. I think that's one of the biggest things, and I think if anything that we take from this conversation, I think we should take being committed to ourselves.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And I think once, and I'm not saying that I don't know who I am. I'm still learning who I am.
Yeah.
But I'm in that route, and just like with you guys. But I think there needs to be more commitment to that, because
to yourself.
Yes.
Yes.
Because I think we've been through so much in life that, regardless to someone who says, oh, I know who I am, and it's still hard to figure out deep down who you are. You know, I mean, of course I'm Benny, but who is Benny?
Right.
Like what's the definition to Benny?
Right.
You know, and that's a long definition.
Absolutely.
And I'm committed into finding out who I am.
And being a better.
Oh, I'm already. No.
Okay.
But you're right. And being better at who I am supposed to be.
Absolutely.
I think in the commitment part, it's almost like you have to commit to your worth. You know, you have to commit to your gift. Well, first you have to find out.
Wow.
You know.
Yeah.
But it's so much. It's so much in life that we gotta commit to your purpose. You know, and if you in a job that you like and you want to be in, and that's the job that you're going to stay in, you have to commit to it. If you're in a relationship, you've got to commit to it. Commit to your why in life. There's so many things that we get so distracted from, and those are the main things.
Right.
You know, like they say, the main thing is the. Am I messing that up? The main thing is the main thing. How does that go?
The thing really ain't the thing.
I know.
I don't know. I don't know where you're going.
Well,
Usually when you're arguing,
that.
yeah, I don't know where you.
Be committed to your success in life.
Okay.
No, what?
Okay, be committed to right. That's being committed to you, right?
Well, yeah, but it's so open though.
Yeah.
It's so open when you say be committed to yourself, because if you don't know yourself,
what are you
committing to?
Right.
You might be committing to somebody else. You know, and it's almost like if you're not committed to yourself, how do you expect somebody else to be committed to you?
Yeah.
If you don't know yourself,
right.
How do you expect somebody to sit down and get to know you? You know, and I think that's one of the issues in relationships is we get into the relationship, and whether it's 5 years later, whether it's 2 years later, or 10 or 20 years later, people really start to change. You know,
I think they become themselves. They come into themselves.
Right.
Because like we've been together almost 30 years. Like this is not who I was originally.
I know that, but what I'm saying is it didn't always have to take it didn't have to take 30 years. Okay. It did not have to take
for us to know who we were.
If I knew what I know now
30 years ago.
Well, not even 30 years ago. I mean, that would have been a lot to put on that dude.
Yeah.
You know, life is a process.
Yes.
But there's adversity and stuff that we had to go through to figure it out.
Absolutely.
So here we are at our point, and we're really starting to come into who we are.
Yes.
And sometimes in relationships, when you start to do that, it either pulls you together or it pulls you apart.
Right.
You know, and that's because people fall in love with the shell. They don't fall in love with the soul. They fall in love with the shell, the outside. Once you're committed to it and you're in it for a long term, then the shell opens up, and then you start to taste the soul, or you start to figure out what the soul is about.
Right.
You know, and now it doesn't mean because somebody, let's see, I'm going to use you as an example. Not all this is, I'm just going along with this. Just ride with me. So when I met Tala 50 years ago, she wouldn't stop calling me. She would just show up over to the house.
This is not true.
I had to tell my mom, you know, like I wasn't here. Just let her go.
Okay.
But
not true.
So Tala had a certain look about her. Tala was 6 foot. She says she's 6'1", but that means I'm 6'2" if she's 6'1". So,
this is not a good analogy.
No, it's a great analogy. Y'all just ride with me on this. So Tala was beautiful. She was tall, beautiful skin, hair, eyes, lips, nose, ears, feet. I don't know about feet.
We get it. Okay, come on.
And over time, see, that's what attracted me to. Well, I'll tell you what attracted me to Tala.
No.
When we were riding in Charles's truck one day, and I was playing, I think I was playing Snoop Dogg, and you knew every word in that song, and I was like, okay, you know what? She's pretty, but she's down.
I'm gangsta.
So no, she ain't gangsta. That's far from that.
Nothing is gangsta.
But that was one of the things.
Right.
So now let's skip to 3 years later. So now we're a little more comfortable with each other.
Yeah.
So now I start to see things about you that either I'm going to like or I'm going to dislike.
Right.
Because at the beginning, it's not a full commitment because I don't know you and you don't know me. So then after a while, I start to see how your cooking skills were. They weren't too good.
Okay.
They weren't too good. Now,
Okay.
some of this stuff I'm just making up, so don't y'all ride with everything. So, and things about me too, but I'm just talking about you. So then it's a few years later, so now we're 10 years in, and now our conversations are different. You know, because I think in the beginning we're just trying to impress one another. Now we're really being true to one another.
10 years, we're not still trying to impress.
No, I'm saying at the beginning we were trying to impress. Now, or 10 years after that, now we're having conversations about, you know, the truth, the direction, you know, the kids and everything that's going on. And now it's, well, you know what? I really don't like going to the movies.
Right.
I really don't like watching chick flicks.
Right.
I know you do,
Right.
but I really don't.
Right.
You may say, well, you did for the past 10 years.
Right.
No, I really didn't. I just went there because I knew you liked going.
Right.
You know, and then you flow into 20 years, and now it's, if we go to a chick flick, you need to know that I don't like going to them. I'm just committed to you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So just committed to the process, being committed to the process.
We have been committed for, I know that was kind of drawn out, but overall, it's just kind of knowing, getting to know the person,
Right.
but yourself more than anything.
Right.
And when we first got together, I thought I knew who I was.
Right.
But there was so much more to me.
Absolutely.
You know.
Yeah.
So in looking at the shell, that's what we see in everybody.
Right.
Is the shell.
Yeah.
How open are we to dig in past the shell? How committed are we? Because some people, all I want to know is the shell.
Right.
You know, I want to know the shell. I don't need to know all the other stuff, and I'll just keep it moving.
Right.
But then when you try and create your team or your group or anybody that you want that's going to help you progress,
Right.
then you need to know more than the shell. You need to be committed to know more than that shell.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you.
Wow, you didn't ride at all.
I'm riding you. I mean, I agree with you. I do agree. But, you know, just what are you still committed to what you set out to do for 2019? So this was just a little self check-in, you know, just commitment. Are you conquering what you committed yourself to? No, that's not right. You cannot conquer what you are not committed to. Sorry.
Are you committed to this right now?
Yes, I am. I'm committed to it right now. So it's the Ben and Tala Perspective. We hope we have brought a little something to you, dropped a nugget or two this evening. Thank you for joining us. We hope you have an amazing week. You need to add something else
course.
before? No, we're done.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
We
exactly.
hope you have an amazing week. What you need?
No, we'll go ahead and wrap this up because Twala's obviously committed to something else.
No,
so
I'm just
we're going to go
saying.
ahead and wrap this up. So we'll holler at you guys next Monday, I hope. 7:30. Same place, same time. next Monday, 7:30. We'll see you guys.
Smile and make someone's day. And pick up the phone and call them. Don't send a text this week. Call them. So, committed. What are your commitments for the rest of the week? For the rest of the year? Stick to them. Have an amazing week. God bless you. And we'll see you next time. Ciao.